Well, hello, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. This is part of the continuing series for the singles who need help manifesting better romantic experiences. We are delving into your subconscious beliefs and giving you some tips of things that may be holding you back that you are probably unaware of. By definition, the subconscious is that which we are unaware yet it affects every single experience we are having. This is based on the findings of Carl Jung, J-U-N-G, a mental health pioneer, and we are talking integration of the shadow self, which is also known as the subconscious, okay? And if you want to delve into your situation, whether it's about romance, career, job, or what have you, well, you can. You can book a personal reading with me one and only one way, by following the directions in my most recent description box below that video, okay? And I hope if you haven't done so, you will subscribe to my channel, all right? And of course, make sure that you adjust your notification bell periodically so that you know when I upload, okay? And y'all, I do appreciate the likes and the comments. It truly means so much. So we are back on this series. It's picking up with the Saggy gang. Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Let's delve into your energy and see what issues you may have that you are probably not even aware of, Sagittarius. All right, let's take a look. All right, some of you are hung up on this past person. And I know it's hard. But, you know, I think that what you dealt with, if I can just talk about this, maybe not, you know, romantically, but something that was not equal give and take. All right, this was probably a strong soul connection, okay? But bear in mind, you have many soulmates, okay? They come into your life for many different reasons, many times to honor a soul contract that involves you waking up and healing some issues, maybe relative to past life. It's a lot more complex than I'm going to get into right now. But trust and believe, many times they're here for lessons and not for romance, okay? But romance is often the vehicle that the universe uses because why? It's the quickest way to get to us and to get our full attention. And you guys know what I'm talking about, okay? And many of you right now are dealing with something in the past, Six of Cups and the Judgment card, and hoping for something to come back around and kind of focused on that versus, you know, dealing with some issues inside, okay? And I think, you know, you've got this Knight of Wands reversed. You've got the Chariot reversed. I mean, somebody obviously not wanting to move forward. But we're more focused on you right now, Sagittarius, than reading about this person right now. We're working on ourselves today, okay? That's the focus that Auntie Karen has decided to pursue again and pick back up on, okay? So this is about self-love and understanding that this thing was a lesson. All right, here's the thing. The Knight of Wands in reverse tells me that, first of all, distance, okay, with that person for whatever reason, acting distant. And, you know, I think that really bothers you, okay? Makes you feel like, you know, you just can't win here. Well, you can. But you, Sagittarius, many of you are overly fearful of rejection, being abandoned, and you have got repressed anger and bitterness. And this probably doesn't even relate to a past romantic person. It probably goes back, because here's what happens. You have these subconscious beliefs about things. You're fully aware that, you know, you had the childhood trauma, you had the breakup and it hurt. You know all of that. But what probably has not happened is that you have not actually sat down and honored and dealt with the emotions, all of the emotions that are relative to those situations. We are talking shadow work 101, okay? And, you know, it, like I said, all of this that you're not even aware of that you've repressed, it's like you can sit and talk about the incident, okay, and say, you know, this happened to me as a child. This happened to me in a past relationship. This person, you know, cheated on me, abused me, whatever the case may be. It's all horrible, and I get it. But the thing about it is like, you know it, and yes, you can talk, you know, that old meme that says if you can talk about it without crying, that lets you know you've healed. That's baloney. I went for 10 years without without shedding a tear in my life, okay? And that in and of itself was a huge indication for me that something was terribly wrong. And when it finally did hit, it was like the floodgates opened, okay? And I'm not saying you have to cry, but then again, you know, because sometimes it involves having those ugly cries. Sometimes it involves, you know, if you're dealing with anger or bitterness or feeling vengeful, sometimes, you know, it's about going to the, you know, thrift store or the dollar store and getting a set of dishes, going somewhere and safely tossing those things and just, you know, getting it all out. Go off somewhere in your car by yourself, scream to the top of your lungs until you get it out at whoever you need to get it out at, okay? With them not being there, of course. You know, journal, write a letter and burn it, whatever it takes, okay? There are many, many ways to do shadow work. But you know that this happened, but have you actually honored every feeling associated with it, you know? For me, many times I'll deal with sadness about it. Many times I'll deal with regrets. Many times I'll deal with the pain and the guilt if I've done something, okay, in those instances. Because, yes, I've done things too. I've been hurt and I've hurt others. Broken people do hurt broken people. Many times not meaning to. And most of the time, honestly, that's how that happens, okay? But we are responsible for those behaviors even when we are broken, because we're responsible for going in and healing the issues that caused us to act in such a way to begin with, okay? And you know, I'm not saying that you guys did anything wrong here. I'm just talking about me and how that rolls with broken people in general to kind of help you understand. Not to excuse. There is no excuse for crappy behavior, right? But to help you to at least understand, to have a big picture understanding of why things happen the way they do many times, okay? But, you know, a broken person, you know, I'm looking this Six of Pentacles reversed. Broken people many times don't have the ability for equal give and take. They just don't have that capability. And so, you know, many times their best just isn't sufficient. And that's why it's so important to be relationship ready and to make sure that who you go into a relationship with is relationship ready as well. Okay, so you won't be fighting losing battles here with this Nine of Wands, okay? I think many of you are very overburdened and feeling very stressed, a lot of sleepless nights, and you don't even know why. You kind of feel like your love life is stagnant. Well, and this is probably the cause, okay? But, you know, the Queen of Swords here is telling you this. First of all, cut out toxicity as much as possible in every area. Limit the toxicity and the crappy, you know, stinking thinking, and being around negative Nancy's as much as possible. You know, very, very important, okay? And raise your own standard and values and realize your self-worth. Many times we have self-esteem and self-worth and we don't value ourselves, all of those issues, and we don't even know it, okay? Many times we're just harboring anger and bitterness. And, you know, like I was just talking about, you know, I'll deal with the sadness and the tears, and then, you know, it may be months later, I may go back and spiral back to the same thing again and deal with my anger about it. And then I will deal with, you know, at the person, and then I will spiral back yet again and deal with anger at myself for putting up with the crap to begin with. Because at the end of the day, I mean, I have to come back to myself for staying in situations way too long many times, okay? And I get that, you know, childhood issues are a whole different cup of tea here. You know, there's still emotions that have to be dealt with associated with those things. If nothing else, feelings of helplessness, okay? And being trapped and being imprisoned, okay? And that sort of thing. But, you know, then we go into adulthood and we think, well, it's not cool, but it's normal, and it's, you know, what it's may not be where I'm happy, but at least I know the rules here. I know how to function in dysfunction. I don't know how to function in a truly healthy dynamic because I've never been there. And the only reason I can speak to any of this is because I have been here where I'm describing, okay? Do I think you can, you know, make it? Yeah, I think you can make it. Is it hard to do the work that I'm talking about? Sure it is. Is it hard feeling stuck and miserable and having repeated relationship failures? Well, I can speak to both of those and all of that. And I can tell you what my choice was. I can't tell you what you will do, but I can tell you this. You know, this is a journey and it takes a long time, and we'll be doing shadow work and healing and working on ourselves till the day we quit breathing. But there will come a point in time where you do feel relationship ready, where you've healed a lot of this stuff to the point where you can function in a healthy way. okay? And that's what this is all about, okay? But you know, one thing I need to point out too, self-care during shadow work is critical. You must do self-care. You must nurture yourself. You must take care of yourself, and you must put yourself first. Honestly, always. Sometimes self-care is going for a walk in nature, going for a walk with your dog, playing with your pet, watching a silly, mindless comedy. Sometimes it's taking a drive, okay? You know, going out with friends. And I'm not saying do a lot to distract yourself, but balance shadow work with self-care. Every day, every day, every day. Sometimes it's a spiritual bath, okay, what have you. And my shadow work playlist is there for you if you need this. But, you know, one thing I want to say is this. When you embark upon this journey, just like a weight loss journey or a fitness journey, give it longer than 2 days. After 2 days on a weight loss and fitness journey, okay, you're going to be hangry. You're going to feel bad because you're detoxing from carbs, and your muscles are going to be sore, and you're going to look in the mirror if you're not careful and say, this isn't working. I haven't gone down 3 sizes, you know, so phooey on this. Well, the same is true on the same illogical, you know, thoughts can be also applied to working on the inside of you, okay? It takes longer than a couple of days. Give it time. You will start to see peace. You will have moments of peace, and then you'll go back, and you know, it's kind of going to be like this. Healing is not a straight line upwards, and this is part of raising your vibration. It's not a straight line upwards. It's kind of like this. You will have days where you feel like you back up, but really it feels that way. But in actuality, what you're doing is just going back and healing more things. So it really is like this. It just feels like this. And sometimes it can feel like a roller coaster, okay? I'm just going to point that out, okay, Sagittarius. But, you know, as far as, I don't get too much into the zodiac signs associated with the cards that I'm talking about, but I do see an eventual positive outcome for you. And I think you're going to bring good things in when you work through, you know, the pains and angers and, you know, frustrations and you know, sadness and, you know, feelings of abandonment and fears of rejection, fears that you can't attract anybody, thoughts about your own self-worth and what you deserve and what you have the capability to attract, okay? But, you know, I think you feel like you're almost fighting a losing battle here with this 9 of Wands. And I think you've dealt with a lot of commitment phobes, and because of that, you fear that, and you will reverse manifest exactly what you don't want if you're not careful, okay? I talk about that a lot in my Law of Attraction video, which is in my playlist called The Life Preserver, okay? That video mentions self-beliefs, but it does not say what I'm saying now, that the beliefs that are so important in working Law of Attraction are the ones that are in your subconscious, okay? And that affects what you attract to you. You know, broken attracts broken. If you're hung up on an ex, that's what you're going to attract, someone who's hung up on an ex, okay? If you attract someone, if you have poor self-esteem, you're going to have someone come in with poor self-esteem. And many times poor self-esteem can manifest itself in forms of arrogance and egotistical behavior. That is not at all the same thing as confidence. Arrogance and egotistical behavior is actually a mask that a person wears because they don't want to deal with the fact that they have a crap self-esteem themselves. So actually who they're hiding it from more than anyone is themselves, but certainly everybody else around them. Okay, Sagittarius, I just thought I would point that out. Okay, so, you know, it's all about going inside, seeing yourself through the eyes of the divine, okay? You know, you have to find out who you are by going inside and doing this work. And of course, daily meditation. Please do not neglect your daily meditation. That strengthens your intuition, okay? But when you go into and do this work and you find out who you are, then you will then be able to know what you want, okay? In a romantic partner, in a career opportunity, in what career path you may choose. You know, it may upset the whole apple cart, but it's okay because it's part of finding out who you are and what you want. And there's no way you're going to know. This is why we often see many times with the Knight of Swords energy, I often refer to as in and out energy. Many times people get ghosted because of this. It is because people don't know what they want, and they don't know what they want because they don't know who they are, because they're broken and they haven't gone inside. Okay, so at any rate, Sagittarius, I hope this has been helpful to you. These are intense. That is why I took a break, okay? But I do intend to finish this series, and I probably will do this again, but I don't know when, okay? But slow and steady wins the race on this one for yours truly as well. Because trust and believe this, when I started this series and I held a mirror up to you guys, guess who else got held a mirror up to? That was me, which is good, okay? Forced me to do some things and deal with some things that I haven't dealt with. Like I said, we will be doing shadow work until we quit breathing, okay? We will be healing things, and you know, that's okay. We're all in this together. No one has arrived. And if you ever hear anybody that tells you they are the end-all be-all and that they have the only solution to your issues, please run for the hills, okay? Because I'm not the end-all be-all, nor is anyone on the planet. What you can do is gain truths from a number of different sources, and I hope to be one of those sources for you guys, okay? Thank you so much, Saggy Gang. Much appreciated, and as always, very humbling to see you guys viewing my videos. Many blessings.